Today, we're changing things up. Have you ever wanted to own a LaFerrari? Imagine even daily driving a masterpiece straight from Maranello. It's a true icon. Let's talk about finances, especially financing the car on an interest-only deal, and what it takes and what you need to make to live that dream. Let's get into it. So let's jump straight in. First of all, we've got fuel. Now, obviously, we're looking at a hybrid hypercar, so you'd think it would be slightly better on fuel. Well, it is. Compared to most hypercars of 10 miles per gallon, we're getting 12 with this car. It's much better. So with an average of 12 miles per gallon, which is better than most hypercars, you'll burn about 2.5 gallons or 9.5 litres on a 30-mile commute. At £1.70, that's £16.15 daily, adding up to £7,044 annually. Now, onto maintenance. LaFerraris aren't cheap, and well, Ferrari servicing isn't cheap. But if you're buying a car like this, you better go to the main dealer. A servicing cost, which would be annually with this car, would be roughly £15,000, and bespoke tyres costing £4,000. A set of carbon ceramic brakes can cost more than £8,000 or more, so numbers climb pretty fast on this car. On top of that, if the hybrid battery was to fail, you could be looking at a £100,000 bill. But we're not including that, because that's not going to happen every year, right? Insurance. Now, of course, we cover this all the time. It's another significant expense. On a hypercar like a LaFerrari, you'd need a specialised policy. Premiums could range from £15,000 to £25,000 annually, depending on your driving history, your location. So for this, we'll average it at about £20,000. But remember, if you live in a big city, could be more. Now, depreciation is obviously variable on a car like this. Most cars obviously lose money per year. But a LaFerrari is trading for more than double what its retail price was, coming out at roughly about £2.5 million and selling for roughly around £4.5 million now. So obviously, if you keep it well maintained, good service history, and keep it as a nice, clean car, it's going to go up in value. But we've got to think what we're saying is we're going to drive 10,000 miles a year. So obviously that's going to have an effect on the price. It's going to add wear and tear, and it's going to reduce its resale price. So we're going to expect that it reduces the price by between £10,000 and £20,000 annually. But if you're lucky, you won't even miss out on that £10,000 to £20,000, because by next year it'll be worth even more. So perfect, right? Not financial advice. So then we get into it. On all the other cars that we've done in this series, we've always assumed people can afford a car outright. Today, we're looking at this a little bit differently. We're looking at financing the LaFerrari and including that in the cost. So one of the incredible things about a car like this is because the prices are so solid and so rigid, they don't really move in the market. If anything, they go up. You actually open yourself up to a really interesting finance proposition, which is actually interest only. So what a lot of people would do is you put down a significant lump sum at the beginning, and then you set quite a large balloon, which then makes it up. So sometimes that's 50% is the deposit, 50% is the balloon, and then you just pay the interest on that balloon all the way through, because they're assuming that this car will go up in value and you can come out of it pretty evenly. So you can pay just the interest and enjoy an incredible car like this. So prices do range between 3 and 4 million. So let's say you were really lucky and you got one for 3.5 million at an annual interest rate of 5%. That's £170,000 per year, or £14,583 per month. Keep in mind, that doesn't even touch the principal. You're not getting rid of that balloon. Okay, you have your deposit, your lump sum, which is hopefully helping, but we'll see what happens. Miscellaneous costs? Well, we put that down at about £6,000 per year. First of all, there's premium parking and storage. You can't leave a car like this on the street, otherwise it will probably be nicked or vandalised. And further to that, you want to keep it professionally detailed. So we've looked at about £500 per session, and then budgeting roughly £1,000 annually for repairs outside of regular maintenance. Now, let's be honest, that's not going to touch it, but maybe if you had one issue every 7 years and you had £7,000 there sat there, it would effectively do a relatively cheap fix on a Ferrari. Altogether, you're looking at around £6,000 per year in additional costs. So let's break it down. What is the grand total of driving a LaFerrari daily on finance? Well, fuel, £7,044. Maintenance, £15,000 per year. Insurance, £20,000 per year. Finance interest, £180,000 per year, and miscellaneous we put down at about £6,000. So the annual cost for this car would be £228,044 or around £19,000 per month. So based on the statistics we've spoken about in previous episodes and the concept of only spending 10% of your disposable income on a car, you should be earning 2.28 million per year to be able to comfortably afford this car. Now, it'd be a different story if you owned it outright, and hopefully the gains that you would see on that car would reflect or outweigh what you spend on it, but that costs a lot. So you're welcome for the redundant knowledge. I'll see you all soon. Bye-bye!